it's Katie with the Ask the Pool Guys Legendary Escapes team. I am live. Okay, maybe I'm not live. I am in New Orleans, Louisiana for the International Pool and Spa Show. You can see. Gonna go in, see some cool vendors, find some new stuff, maybe solve a couple problems, and just have a good time. So come on in.
My name is Al Curtis. We have a company called Legendary Escapes, and we do a lot of online stuff called Ask the Pool Guy. Our business has really been built and developed around using YouTube. So anyone here using YouTube consistently to promote their business? How's it working? Are you getting some stuff happening?
I mean, from all of the nations, we don't want that. I mean, yeah.
Well, here's the beauty and the drawback is you are going to get a lot of contact from a lot of places, but in a local market, you can really strengthen that market. So what I wanted to do is just kind of share my story, a little bit of how we came about using the internet to really build a pretty cool business. It was probably 2009, and I've been in the pool business. This is like my 30th year, I think. I've been around a while. I'm an old concrete guy. I don't want to do internet stuff. I didn't want to be that kind of guy. In my mind, it just didn't make any sense. But in 2009, we'd had a website for many years. We were early adopters to having websites and stuff, but I was not interested. This is going to be really interesting. I was done. I thought I was getting out of the pool business. It had just burned me out. Maybe some of you can relate. It's hard, grueling work sometimes, and I was just burned out. And in 2009, I was challenged by a guy, and he said, we had been using social media in another business, because again, trying to get out of the pool business, we started a company, we started using social media as really early adopters, and people, we got to understand it really well. But I wasn't using it for pools. I just didn't want to be a part of it anymore. I was burned out. And in 2009, a guy challenged me. He said, if you're so effing good, he was really crude. He said, if you're so effing good at social media, and this was a case, we were teaching a social media class, a round table to executive CEOs from around the country, big time CEOs of really well-built, privately held companies. And a guy stood up and he said, if you're so effing good at this social media stuff, why don't you use it for pools? And I looked at me and I said, because I don't want to do this anymore. It's just killing me. I'm running around doing things that I'm not happy doing. Well, that planted the seed. 2 months later, I went back to Sandy, my business partner. She's back here. And I walked into her office one day and I said, we have this pool company that won't go away. We tried for years to kind of kill it, it wouldn't go away. I said, what if? I said, I've been dreaming this idea. What if we could rebuild the company, start from what we have, and only do what we love to do and nothing else? What would that look like? And I swear, she thought I either had a stroke or I bumped my head that morning, because whoever walks into office says, I'm only going to do what I love, nothing else. And that was sort of the beginning of it. And it took a few weeks, and she came back to me and she said, if you do exactly what I tell you to do for 1 year, we will own the internet when it comes to the pool stuff. And I'm like, okay, I like it. And what she did was, she put a camera in my face. And she said, we're going to record everything you say all the time when it comes to pools, and we're going to put it online. Well, we started, and I got to tell you, the first ones were horrible. Of course, the person in the video wasn't doing a really good job. But we started with the little flip cams. Anyone remember the little flip cam? It was probably, it's old technology. It's been gone for like 5 years. It was only here for like 8 years, 3 years, and it's gone. I started walking around pool projects, holding this camera up, looking like an idiot, and talking about, well, that thing behind me over there, and that thing, we couldn't flip them back and forth. There was only aimed one direction. And I go, see that? And I turn the camera. And amazingly enough, people started paying attention. And then more people started paying attention, and then I did it more. And I'm going to give you guys a bunch of tips about what we did that has worked amazingly, and I'll give you sort of the statistics of what's happened to our company. It doesn't mean this is the only way to do it. This is just a way that we've done it that has worked spectacularly. We're not high flash. We're not making them real snazzy and beautiful. We're doing the bare basic. It's the content and the information that people want today. We don't overproduce anything. If I stumble on my words, we leave it in there. If I trip and fall while walking around a project, we leave it in there. Everything is very raw and natural. And if you look at the generations, I'm a little bit older than a lot of people in the industry today, and you consume information different. Our customer consumes information and wants it in a different way. My kids, I have a couple adult kids in the 20s, they don't watch television. They don't sit in front of TV, they watch YouTube. I remember Jessie, she's a senior in college now. I said to her, I said, Jessie, so celebrity. So who do you really follow, would you really like to meet as a celebrity? And she named off all these people I'd never heard of. I said, who are they? She said, oh, they're all on YouTube. There was not one mainstream celebrity she was interested in. It was all these people on YouTube. Now this was early on, before I understood the power of it. But I did believe Sandy when she said, what I want you to do is exactly what I tell you to do for 1 year. Do that, and I'll prove to you that it works. So I did. And I don't know, today we probably had this, that was 2009 and 10. And our business went from us trying to get rid of it, just ready to be done, to we have such a big funnel, kind of that comment that people call from all over the place. We get a lot of that, but we also get tremendous amount of calls from our area. And remember, I restarted the company with the idea of only doing what I love. So this is something maybe works for others, maybe not. As we said, we're only going to do the stuff that we love to do. Well, I can promise you that if you have so many calls coming in, you can pick the ones you want. If you only have 1 or 2 or 3 calls, you got to take that work, and you got to do it because we need to survive. But when you hang up the phone and say no, and you know the phone's going to ring in 5 minutes again, it's easy to say no again until the right one comes along and you can say yes. Now, believe it or not, we all are the masters of our own destiny. We can do that. Our way up that mountain was YouTube. We used social media to build a huge number of people calling us. So now we can pick the ones we want. And what happened is, yes, we have to deal with calls and we have to deal with a lot of people, and we refer out most of the calls that come in. I mean, I was talking yesterday, and you made a great point, Moses, when you were saying it's not a brag. But we today turn away 95% of our phone calls that come in the office, whether it's service or construction. And we're not talking little stuff, we're talking really great stuff because we just can't handle it. But what we do know is another call will come and it'll be the right one. And we've decided as a team to only do what we love. If we can't fall in love with a customer, if we can have a good time every single day, we're a real family-based company. If we can't just love the experience and if we can't love the customer, we won't do the work. But it's because of YouTube that we could do that. Our past experiences, we had to take that lead, we had to take that call, we had to go out and see every single person that called in. Today, you know what we do? They call in, the first question is, have you seen it, did you find us online? 99% of the time it's yes. The next most important question is, have you watched our videos? And if they say no, we say the very first step for you to do is to go to our YouTube channel and watch videos. Not 1, not 2, you have to invest in us today. So when a customer calls in and they go, yeah, we watched 5 hours of your video, let me ask you guys, if you were going on a sales lead and somebody said to you, yeah, I watched like 5 hours of videos with my wife and kids last night, is that do you think that's a pretty good connection? It's a weird world. Versus me going in cold, now they know everything about me. They know how I act, they know how I move, they know how I sound. I don't know anything about them, other than they're interested enough in me that they show up at that meeting already prepared to talk about what I want to talk about. They are now working in my paradigm, I'm not working in theirs. Because if you watch 5 hours of our stuff and you didn't like me, No problem. We don't have to meet. We saved a whole lot of time for everybody. But if we get to that point, we know that we have a darn good chance of doing business with a customer. And as a net result, we can do the stuff that we love to do. Not the stuff that we have to do, not the stuff that pays bills, not the stuff that, well, okay, we'll take it because there's nothing else to do. We don't have to do that anymore. And it's kind of a weird bubble of a place to be for me to think that I don't have to do any work I don't want to do anymore. My team, we've empowered the team to say, if you don't want to do it, just say no and we won't do it. So if there's a project that we're not sure about for whatever reason, everyone gets a vote. And if there's one no, we're not going to do the project. But all of that because of YouTube. Because we took the time to put the content online. And who here has seen any of our stuff? A few of you, hopefully. Okay. It is raw. It is shot with cell phones. It is shot with anything that we could put content online with. So it's now, we don't set up the scene, there's no drama, we don't pull all that together. It's purely us talking about our industry and what we love. It's talking about the philosophy of why we do what we do. It's also giving away all the secrets of how we do our stuff. Our stuff is, we're kind of a real artsy, fartsy, weird company. We do a lot of real quirky stuff. And it's all done in-house. And so it's just kind of this cool little place. But by showing it and really revealing everything about us, it seems to work. So case in point, we built a customer for a woman named Melanie, and she loved it. She didn't understand why she didn't understand on the front side enough about us, but as we finished the project, she goes, I want to do some video for you. So we sat down and we did all of this video of her talking about the philosophy of why it was like Christmas every day, coming home not knowing, and she's sharing all this stuff about us. So a guy named Paul one night, and these are very professional people, these are people running big companies, this is just some really, you wouldn't think that a guy like Paul, as an example, who runs a giant internet company and he has teams of hundreds and hundreds of people, would take the time to go online at 2 o'clock in the morning and watch videos. But he's searching at 2 o'clock in the morning, looking for a pool company, and he runs across our stuff. His wife wakes up at 6, he's still watching our videos. The kids get up at 8 and he makes them all sit and watch videos. And when I walked through their door, his wife was bouncing up and down in the background. He's here, he's here, he's here. I'm just a pool guy. But to her, I was something more than that because she already understood our philosophy. And the first and foremost reason that he said that he wanted us was he saw Melanie online in the very first video he watched say what she was saying about it, and he said, she sounds like us. If she could be happy, we could be happy too. Now, how could I share that with people unless I really got Melanie and Paul together to talk? It wouldn't happen. But online, we just recorded Melanie being authentically Melanie, and Paul said, well, I want that. We could have them, and then that was an amazing customer, amazing project. We had a really, really good time, and his wife was the one that said it felt like Christmas every single day. We've heard that comment over and over and over because they love the experience. It's no longer about building pools, it's about creating experiences. Another case in point, and then I want to get to some technical stuff on this. We live in a world where viral video is everything. Oh, you gotta have a viral video, you gotta have a million views. No, you don't. You really don't. You gotta have the right view, and that's all that matters. Not Melanie's, but Paul's pool, we were just finishing up. They had gone out of town, and we were going to surprise them because we love to kind of play with the customers' emotions and that. And their sister was in on it. His sister was in on it with us, and she kept sending him videos that nothing was getting done that week. She kept sending him on her phone. Oh yeah, it rained all week. They haven't done anything. Well, we in turn had finished the waterfall, put water in the pool, and had it ready for them when they came home. Well, our first interaction with the pool was I got up on the waterfall, fully clothed, work boots and everything, did a backflip into the water. She recorded it, put that online. I think 60 views later, 62 views later, we got a call. And the woman said, I want you to build one of those pools like that one that you did the backflip in. Now, the video didn't say backflip in a waterfall. The backflip was about 3 minutes into a 5-minute video. And that woman saw it and she said, that's what I want. Didn't need a million views, it needed 60 views, and the right person saw it. $200,000 later on a pool, net result. That same backflip video sold us another project a few months later. Who'd have thought? But see, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you think, it matters what they think. And the net result was because we did it, we got results. So I want to wrap up quick so then we can just answer questions and stuff, but let's talk a little bit about statistics and how we view the YouTube use, because we can also talk Facebook Live. Anyone done any Facebook Live stuff? Again, tremendous. Beautiful thing about that is you can reuse the content. Save it in one place, use it in another. Or if you use Periscope, same thing. Save it on your phone and then re-release into YouTube as well. What we've paid attention to is we never worried about subscribers. We just were doing this. We never tried to monetize it. The intent was not to, how can we make money doing this? It was, how can we share our message? Now, in recent times, we've certainly made some money off of YouTube. That wasn't our intent. Our intent was, how can we get minutes viewed? I don't care how many videos you watch. I care about how many minutes you watched it. So if you look at our YouTube channel today, one channel, we have two separate channels, one on Legendary, one on Asset Pool Guide. Between the two of them, there are about 2,000 videos. Now the videos range from 2 minutes to some of them are probably half an hour long, but the most videos are 1 to 2 minutes because that's most people's attention span. But if you look at those videos, we have videos that have 50 views. That for the right 50 people, that's all that matters. We have videos that have 160,000 views. For the right people, it matters. We don't pay attention to the view numbers. We pay attention to how many minutes people watch. So statistically, we're a little pool company. We're based in the Michigan area. And for every minute that we're breathing and alive, 2 to 3 minutes of our video online is being watched. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and then it peaks when things get during the summer. So our message is being shared over and over and over because we took the time to do it. Not polished, not smooth. We've done it all in-house. We've never hired anybody to do it. We just everyone's got cameras and videos. When something cool's going on in the job, we've got a couple of our team members here can tell you, you take a video of it and you share it. And I'll tell you, taking videos and saving them on your hard drive for the future doesn't serve. A video online serves because those horrible first videos that we did still get views. So the stuff we did 5 and 6 years ago is still working for us today. Tell me where in marketing, anywhere in marketing, that's possible. Tell me any ad that you can run or any type of program that you can do that still works for you 5 years later. Well, in our particular case, people don't just watch the 1 or 2 videos we just put out. They watch any one of hundreds or thousands of videos based on what they're looking for. And what it's done is it's very much changed our business to the point where we only do what we love. And then these guys can probably share that, don't we kind of do what we love today? We don't have to do the stuff that we don't want to. We're all empowered to say, let's just do the stuff that's fun. And not everybody, maybe that wouldn't work for everybody, but it works for us. So from the standpoint of how it's supposed to look, just do the content. Content is king. Doesn't matter how it looks, doesn't matter if you don't, it doesn't, and here's the thing, it doesn't matter if you like it or not. It doesn't matter if I like the videos or not, it doesn't matter at all. Me. It's about the viewer. If the viewer likes it, then it's valuable. But it's me just saying those things, and the beautiful part about it is, do you guys ever remember as a kindergartner playing that telephone game where the teacher would whisper something in a kid's ear, who would whisper it to someone else, who would whisper it to someone else, and by the time it got to the other end of the room, the last person would say what it was, and it was never anywhere close? The beautiful thing here is I can say my words in a video and share them with you, and you go, wow, this is interesting, and you could share it with her, and she goes, wow, that's kind of cool, I'm going to share it with him, and 10, 20 shares down the road, he heard my exact message. He didn't hear your interpretation of what I said, and then her interpretation of what you said I said, and then his interpretation of what she said that you said that I said. he heard my message. When you think about it from that standpoint, it's pretty powerful. Is that it could have gone 100 people down the line, and it's the exact same message. Another big part of the power in YouTube. I think the kind of the final comment, and then I'll open for some questions. No one forces anyone to watch video. If you really want to look at what's going on, whether it's this political arena we're in or anything else, pay attention to the statistics of video. No one makes you sit down and watch all those videos. You do it by choice. So and there's no way to lie about that. We can look at the statistics and say, what are people doing? They're watching video. It's the easiest way to share your message. You don't have to be polished and smooth, and you just have to share the message. And the net result is people will pay attention and people will listen. And yes, we get a lot of calls from all over because people see it. But we've also, so we handle those as best we can. But we get so many local calls that we just can't do that much work. It's a neat place to be. Who here wants like way more business than they could ever possibly imagine? Anybody? Well, the one way we figured out how to do it was YouTube. And you know what? Free. Didn't cost a penny to sign up. Didn't take any really special skills to sign up. Doesn't take much effort other than doing a little bit of work and recording the stuff that you're already doing. You know that what's the content on our YouTube channel is all stuff you do anyway. Put someone with a camera. Put someone with a phone. Record it. Because it doesn't matter. You think it matters to, it doesn't matter to you. It matters to them. Maybe it's boring to you. What you do is boring. Doesn't matter. People think it's exciting. They love it. You know, sitting down on the design table, I can't believe how many times people have watched and said, well, I'd like to see how you design. So we set up a camera and I colored out a thing, and then we sped it up, and people love that video. Or I had a particular customer where I did a clay model. So we had some elevations, so I kind of did a 3D clay model. And people loved it because we could take a 2-hour process and make it a 2-minute video and watch the whole thing. Where else would they get that? Where else would they get connected into what they really want? Because once they see that, they go, oh, now I understand what you're talking about. The power of video. So any questions, comments, thoughts? Was there anything else that you think I should cover in the process? Okay. One more story here, and then we'll go to questions. We were in Fort Worth last week, 2 weeks ago, at a business convention, and one of the people from Fort Worth had about 100 of us out to his home for a wine and cheese kind of gathering and show up and be able to see his home, and just a gorgeous home overlooking Fort Worth. And there was a guy that I have known for several years, standing here, and he's talking to a woman that I might have seen, but I didn't really know who she was. And this guy's name is Ralph, and he goes, oh, have you met Al? To the woman. And she's like, well, I think we might have, but well, tell me about it. Tell me about what you do. And we're standing right out there near this pretty cool pool, that negative edge pool overlooking the skyline. It was pretty. And Ralph goes, well, let me tell you about him. And I'm standing there like, Ralph, you barely know me other than we've met at a few conventions. And he lays in and he tells this whole story to this woman. Well, if you watch this video, he says this. And if you watch, Ralph, I'll never build a pool for. He lives in Pittsburgh or Pennsylvania somewhere. I'm in Michigan. And he told my story to this woman in a way that I couldn't have imagined. Why? Because he's followed us online, because he's paid attention. And we got him casually interested by talking about our philosophy. And next thing you know, he shared the whole story with this woman. This woman knew my whole life, and I hadn't said a word. But Ralph did. Again, power of video. I couldn't have sat down with Ralph long enough to tell him that much of a story that he was interested in. But over the course of however long he's watched the videos and he's learned enough about me, that he now knows enough about me that he could share this 15-minute dissertation to this woman. I'm standing there like, how do you know this much? It was pretty cool. So anything else there? Questions, comments, thoughts? Can I help anybody?
Is there anything technically that you did to make those videos kind of come up better in a search?
So the question is, did we do anything technically to make the videos come up better in a search? Unfortunately, my answer is no. what we did is we just kept producing video, and we just kept producing video. Now, there's a few on the technical side. There's a few things that when you get involved in linking your Facebook to YouTube to Twitter to be able to push content. So there's a few little technical things, but that's all we did. We've only now started to boost a little bit of our stuff on Facebook, but otherwise it was all organic. We were long-term players, and long-term now is only a matter of a few years. Long-term isn't 20 years. We've been at this for 5 or 6 years, like really intensely, and but we never went at it trying to grow it too quickly. It was very organic in nature. So I'm sure there's a lot of people, and Sandy might even be able to help some of the technical stuff if you want those extra technical things. But we didn't. We kind of kept it simple, and we just kept doing the work. Because I listened to her and said, for the first year, do what I say. I did. Then we got into a habit. And I'll tell you, I didn't like it. I didn't like her showing up at a job. All right, let's do a video. I guarantee you, when we're done today, she's going to stand me right there and go, okay, let's do a video. And you know what I'm going to say? I don't want to. I still don't want to. But what I recognize is by doing it, by doing a simple thing, and it's a simple thing, it works. People care. And I think the really cool part about it for me is I can just be authentically me, whether I'm online or not. And I think that's an important piece, is authenticity. Be who you are offline, exactly who you are online. I've had a lot of people, I've driven up to people's homes and they say, you look just like the guy I saw in the videos. Well, yeah. But you sound like him. Well, yeah. You act like him. Well, yeah. And that's what that does, is that helps people connect, because selling and anything else is purely about connecting on an emotional level, and it's easy to connect at least one way with a video. The beautiful thing is they're already sold into you, they already love you. If you don't love them, it's pretty easy to walk away. But typically once we get to that point, we know it's going to work. Yes?
When you take a customer on and you write a contract with them, do you have any language that says that we're going to be taking video, we got permission to take video of your property?
It's a great question. We do not. So the question was, when we write a contract, do we also have some verbiage in there saying that we're going to be doing some video and doing some stuff? We don't. We haven't currently. We have, once we finish projects, and it's, again, because of the front side, they know us, they know what we're doing. We wouldn't probably get involved with someone if that was an issue on the front side, but we're cognizant and we're cautious of that, of making sure that we don't overstep our bounds. We have customers over the years, a few years later, say, would you mind not sharing my home with the pool? So a lot of times we'll just edit a picture, something that's just a pool. And I would say that be as cautious as you can, but also forgiveness is a beautiful thing, as long as you don't blow them off. We've only had a few issues where people have said something and we've immediately taken care of it, and it's always been fine. Yeah.
Well, I got another question. On the video that you're shooting, are you shooting any of the detail when you're building it, like excavation, steel, plumbing, and has any of that had a negative impact on any build?
It hasn't yet. So the question is, are we shooting the detail and kind of the specifics, the excavation, the steel, all of that? We share it all. And we've had no response yet that was negative, or no one coming back. Now, we just posted a video, and Katie had posted it, and she had said Gunite Day on the title. And I said, let's go back and rephrase that as Gunite / shotcrete, because somewhere along the way someone's go, well, that's not Gunite, that's shotcrete. Well, technically, it's wet shotcrete, it's wet Gunite and dry Gunite, but we typically think of Gunite as being dry, sand and cement versus the shotcrete mix. So there's those, every once in a while you get those comments where people go, well, you didn't quite say it right. I don't always say it right. You know what happens? I ask for forgiveness if I said it wrong, but typically we haven't had any issue.
That's probably just somebody in the pool industry giving you a hard time.
Probably, yeah, because that's what it would be typically. Yes.
You get tied up in the comments online.
So the question is, do we get tied up in the comment sections in that? And we do get a lot of comments. We try to answer as much as we possibly can. Again, here, the beauty and the drawback of the internet is that you don't know who's on the other end. So you get a lot of bozos that say a lot of dumb stuff. We monitor it loosely. Now, we don't spend a lot of time doing, but we monitor it. And if there's those weird comments, we delete them. if there's something that's real and authentic, we'll address it right there in the comments, and we'll say you're absolutely correct, or this is how we fix that situation, or here's what's happened. But by being authentic, by being out there, it's surprising how people are less likely to attack you. If you hide, people want to find you. If you stay out in the front, then they know you're doing the best that you can. People will forgive you when you make mistakes, but I promise you they won't forgive you when you hide. So, it's made us be more vulnerable. It's made us get out there and make sure that we're sharing everything that we possibly can. But the net result is it's just created this huge funnel of business that we can only do a little bit dripping out of the bottom, but there's this massive funnel of people jumping in our funnel at the top. Sandy, you had something.
We always ask permission about the kids.
That's a specific, and we always do that verbally. And the question or the comment was, "What about kids in our videos?" We'll ask the homeowner, "How about your children? Is there a problem?" And again, we had really, other than maybe a few little things, no one's ever said, "Oh no, don't use my kids." Usually they want to promote us. We positioned ourselves to have people want to promote us. That's a big difference too, is they want to talk about us.
I think for you it's been effective to have like a face, but you clearly have a team. Is it something you think, can a company do the same thing without having a face? Can it be something where you post content?
I think they can. So the question is, you have a team, but then you also have a face for the team, and we certainly have the face for the team. I think it really comes down to how badly you want to be a part of it. See, we do business with people. We don't do business with companies. You don't write a check to a company. Really, you're writing it to the person you're giving it to that then cashes it. And I think that the more that you engage and the more that you show the people around you how it works, the more that people will get on board. And then you'll find a face. Maybe you become that face. Maybe, it doesn't have to be the owner that becomes the face of that. But I think having a visual helps. And, Mark, my nephew Mark, is our team service guy. He's the lead of the service. He's in a lot of the videos that I'm not in. But they're all part of it. He's doing service-related stuff and telling how to do this and how to do that. And people, it doesn't matter if it's not me saying it.
Okay. My space on it, I'll ask you.
Okay.
Did you have any problems when you decided to do the monetization? Did that? Puts ads on it.
It does. So we got started thinking we're just doing this because we love the industry, we want to grow the industry, we want to be an advocate for the industry. That's why we did it. And then over time, when videos got an awful lot of views and there was a lot of searching for it, we started with a few. So we probably had 1,000 videos online, and we monetized like 5 or 6 or 7 of them, the ones that were the most popular. Yeah, that way, our biggest fear was monetize all of it, then every time you watch one of our videos, you gotta watch an ad first. Instead, it was maybe that one that attracted you, watched an ad, and then you could just start watching ours without them. So we sort of rolled it out slowly, and I think we have ads on most of them today, but we didn't, we sort of eased that in. You don't have control, but it only makes sense for YouTube to put ads that are somewhat related to the content so that someone cares. I mean, why would you put an ad, and it doesn't always work that way, but I have had no one yet has said, "Wow, I can't believe that ad that came up before your video." And again, this is just our experience. It doesn't mean that we have it right. It doesn't mean that we know exactly what we're doing. What we're doing works is all I can tell you.
So the thought I had is, it sounds like you're saying be open and honest, and that's what people respond to. You being in the industry so long, do you have a lot of pushback from other guys that are in the industry?
Absolutely.
Share the inside talk?
So I'm known as the fruity pool guy in my area because I'm the guy that shares all that information. But his comment was, we get a lot of pushback from other guys that have been in the industry a long time? Absolutely. We're in a secretive industry. No one wants to tell their secrets. No one wants anything to be exposed. Not that there's anything to hide, but everyone thinks they're supposed to hide. And what we did is we just said, you know what? We love the industry. We're going to share everything we could possibly share. Everything, how we feel, whatever about all of it, and not everyone's going to like it. And so I'm known as the fruity guy in our area because that's the guy that's going to shoot video for everything. But you know what? Someone wants to see that content. So it comes to buy-in. I don't know that these guys all bought in the minute we started doing this. I think you can ask them. I would think that they sort of grew to it, that we're going to do this again. But we now have social proof. It's easy for me to talk about it, easy, because I have social proof that it works. If you're just starting out, you're just hoping it works. But we have the social proof today, and that's why the team can buy into it and get more involved with it. But I think it starts with one. So if you're the guy, start, and you'd be amazed how many people, once you start seeing the results, people will get involved, because we all love content this way. So why wouldn't we share it this way?
Just curious, have you adopted, and over the years, have you adopted editing now, software, doing a little bit of editing? Are you doing different sound? Are you catching a mic, a lavalier? Are you doing anything different now?
Again, all we're trying to do is capture content. Our editing is still really basic. I know that we're doing a little bit more editing than we would have, because we want to get more specific with the content, but we haven't changed very much. We're not looking to be more polished. We're not looking to be more professional. We're looking to be ourselves. The mics and things just help with the sound. When we have really poor sound, we still put the video out. We've put out a ton of videos with really crappy sound. People still watch them. People still comment on them. People still talk about it.
They comment more.
They might comment more. Yeah. But the net result is we want to put the best thing that we can without, number one, spending a lot of time, energy, or money on it. But we think the content is most important, and we've kind of stayed with that, a really stripped down basic idea, and it's worked very well for us, and it hasn't changed at all. So my thought would be, just do it. Push content, push content, push content, and amazing will show up.
So with how much file footage you probably accumulated over the years, has there ever been something that was great footage that you lost, that accidentally got deleted or anything like that?
We learned pretty early on. The question was, have we lost, with all the content that we keep collecting, have we lost any great amounts of it? And the answer is no. What we've done, you can share it, and you can have it all be saved on YouTube, and it's not your content. We make sure that we have our content stored. So we certainly have, I don't know how many gigabytes or terabytes of information, but we continually back them up. So every 6 months or so, you're backing up to a new. So that part takes a little effort as it grows, but we, to this point, have not lost any of the content that I know of. Anything that mattered. Yeah. Any other comments? I don't know what time it is. I'll go on forever, but I'm sure everyone's got stuff to do. So. Wrap it up. We're good. I'm sorry.
Do you ever use music with them before, afterwards?
Yep. So usually it's just free online stuff from YouTube, or we've also gone out and taken some of the free music that's available. And again, we stayed kind of stripped down. We didn't lock ourselves into. We can only use this intro and exit of music. We can only use this. We kind of kept it what feels right now. And if it's a free music, we'll use it. And then if we find something else, we'll use it. Same with the lead in and the lead out. We found some, like the scrolling of the Ask the Pool Guy logo at the front end of it was just a little thing that was made on a free site, and we use that. So we really have stayed simple. And simple seems to work really well, and it's gotten us a lot of attention.
I missed the beginning. Where do I see those?
AskThePoolGuy.com is the website, or on Facebook is Ask the Pool Guy, and or our YouTube channel, Ask the Pool Guy. Okay. And again, feel free to subscribe. We're not big on trying to push people for subscriptions. We just have organically grown. I don't know, we have a few thousand subscribers now, but that didn't matter. Minutes viewed is all that matters. Pay attention to that. Don't pay attention to the numbers of views. Pay attention to how much time people are paying attention. Good. Alrighty, thanks guys.
Very good.